Assalamualaikum, very good afternoon, happy Friday. This is Cairo, live from Ice Chat Innovation, Change and Entrepreneurship. Helping someone get back on their feet is good economics. See you in 3 minutes. All right, Assalamualaikum, very good Friday, good afternoon. This is Cairo. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Azham Stuck Hassan, data scientist. Hello, Azham.
Hello, hi, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Welcome to Ice Chat. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah,
Good. Are you working? You don't look like you are working.
I am working.
You're in the office. Wow. Okay.
I'm in the office.
That's pretty cool, huh?
It's a
Pretty
casual
good.
Friday.
It's a casual
So,
Iron Man round neck t-shirt, right? All right. Thank you so much for coming on board. I said I think you're the first one in as a data scientist, come on board with us. Thank you so
okay,
much. Right.
that's an
So,
honor.
all right. Let's. I mean, you had a big hit yesterday, so today is just small compared to big hit.
Yes.
How was big hit yesterday?
Uh, well, I suppose it's a first time experience at Bihilai, so this is the second.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
All right.
it's interesting because I suppose because yesterday the impromptu questions is quite a lot and quite challenging.
Right.
So I think this is another chance for me to improve whatever I can't deliver yesterday lah.
All right.
Whatever it
Okay.
is, for whatever
All
reason
right.
it is.
Okay. Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Azam.
Okay, I'm late 30s now, near to
All right.
40.
Okay.
Okay, my background is finance and accounting.
Hmm.
Actually, I got my diploma from actually twinning program in KYP MKL Cheras for
Mm-hmm.
3 years, and then twinning
Mm-hmm.
with Liverpool Jolmore in Dublin.
All
Basically, the
right.
college is in Dublin Business School.
Right.
So how then I kind of okay, my passion is actually more to strategy and planning, but I know there's no course about strategy and planning. So
Mm.
okay, so after SPM there was a choice of either going to law or accounting. So
Mm-hmm.
thinking that my parents were police officers,
Mm-hmm.
and I think law might lead me to that. But here's the thing, my parents asked me to choose something else that actually can not just about being the police officers, because they
All
know my
right.
intention to be police officers.
Okay.
Okay, so I thought of something that is what every business needs.
Mm.
So someone who can know about the law, that's one,
Mm.
and second, who can count the money. So
Ah.
they need accountants.
Okay.
So that's how I choose finance and accounting lah. That's how I decided. Uh,
Okay. Right. Okay. That's a bit of your education. So what do you do now?
okay, now I'm in MCMC for nearly a year already.
Right. Right.
Previously, I was from Post Malaysia about for 7 years,
Hmm.
and the first 4 years roughly is about okay. Suffice that I can say that if my children ask if one day, daddy, if you have achieved your cita-cita, your ambition, do
Hmm.
you achieve it? I will say yes, and I achieve it
Hmm.
at Post Malaysia because
Okay.
I say my passion is about strategy planning, and I
Right.
joined Post Malaysia as a corporate planning department
Right. Right.
for about 4 years. So
Right.
I moved to a little bit of transport management because at that point of time, Post was acquiring Post Aviation, known to this day.
Hmm.
And at that point of time, Post Malaysia decided to embark on a 5 years plan, which part of
Hmm.
it is involving big data analytics.
Right.
So
Right.
that's how I'm in this line because they need someone that, according to the choosing manager, the hiring department, saying that they need someone that actually well versed with data and
Hmm.
also knows a little bit of strategy, which is
Hmm.
I was actually the data guy in the corporate planning back then.
Right.
So it's a
Right.
good combination to start.
Right. Right. Well, that's interesting, Azam. Before we get into data science, right, I just want to
Mm-hmm.
ask from you. Um, your background is in accounting, right? You mentioned just
Mm-hmm.
now, but how did data science come about out of nowhere? You know, even I went through your LinkedIn profile. You know,
Uh-huh.
this guy is in accounting, but how did you go into data science? That's interesting.
Okay. Remember when I say that I started at corporate Malaysia as corporate planner? So basically, I'm
Mm-hmm.
the data guy. So uh, it started with very high level data. So
Mm.
to do a proper planning, I think at the point of time is quite difficult
Mm.
because all we get from the businesses sometimes is already aggregated data,
All right.
and also being part of the operations before doing finance accounting. I know if someone comes to me and asking this and that according to the template, and in the same time I have to deliver my own KPIs, my own job,
Mm.
it is time consuming.
Right.
So
Right.
uh, to do a proper and good strategy planning, you need a
Mm.
good data. So
Right.
So by experience of corporate planning, so when I jump into big data analytics project for Post Malaysia,
Mm.
I'm
Right.
aware that okay, I know how to use data, I know
Mm-hmm.
what I want, but I don't have these technical skills.
Mm.
So pretty much
Right.
I was pretty much dependent on the technical guys. Uh,
Right.
Coming from IT, coming from business, when I ask certain data sets that can help me to plan, to help the
Mm.
department plan, it was difficult because the data that given to me usually is being aggregated, and the person giving it sometimes do not understand what do we want to do with it,
With the data. All right. Yeah.
with the data. So I'm the type that kind of uh, like I don't mind of getting my hands dirty. So
Mm.
that's why for me it's actually I have to do this because else I won't achieve the target to have a good proper planning.
I see. Okay. So it started as more of your realization of the gap yang you nampak lah. You know, you have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of data, and you
Mm-hmm.
ask from the IT, but you get not data that you wanted, or rather the different set of thinking using the data.
Yes. Yeah.
And how did you pursue that gap? You know, I mean, do you go to your boss? I want to go to data science or what?
Okay. Now,
mm.
okay, when we started the project, okay, of course, I started with a one-man team before we got the hiring the team members. So,
Mm-mm.
but I do realize that, okay, I think back in 2016, at that point of time also, Malaysians is quite early in this big data adoption. And
Mm.
thankfully, I got the assistance from MDEC via
Mm.
Azrina and Peter Kwok, and also Hafiz
Mm-mm.
Nazri. So they gave
Right.
me quite a good guidance, but that's
Right.
not only the assistance I got, because my thinking is that something like this, because not considering that even from the program office that giving me a different kind of definition of big data.
Mm.
So what I did was I also meet with the vendors asking
Right.
what data is. I
Mm-hmm.
also meet some practitioners,
Mm-hmm.
and I meet also MDAC and also CATS later on.
Mm.
So basically I can notice that uh, everyone is giving a slightly different version of big data analytics.
Right.
However, when the let's say the three channels combine, they will come to one true definition of big data. The
Mm-hmm.
the four V's as a start.
Right.
It's just the matter how you practice it that makes things
Right.
different. Because
Right.
if
What
you
what
meet
are the what are
vendors,
the four V's you mentioned just now? What are the four V's? What
the
does it mean?
volume, the variety, the veracity,
Volume.
volume, veracity, velocity, and I
Right.
can't remember the other one V at
The
this
one is
moment.
veracity of
Veracity
data. Is it?
already spoken. I already
You
said
said
that.
just now volume, variety,
Volume,
veracity,
veracity,
velocity,
velocity.
and variety.
Variety.
Variety. All right. Good.
Yes.
Nice.
So, because you see, when I meet vendors, usually they will talk more about their products,
Solutions. Ah.
their solutions.
Mm.
So when you met practitioners, there's a tendency of, okay, they will share what they practice, but for some reason it will go to the preferred tools. Again,
Right. Right.
depends. Go back to the vendor story. But meeting
Right.
with MDEC, I suppose giving me some good guidance, because it's natural. It's a neutral
Right.
point of view.
Right.
There are more to talents, which I also believe
Right.
that uh, talent is more important than tools,
Right.
because this is what there's. Okay, when we started the pilot project back end of 2016,
Mm.
we were using a proprietary tool, a paid tool.
Mm. Mm.
So when the pilot project ended and our
Mm.
license was not
Right.
renewed, we got stuck.
Okay.
Not stuck, Tony Stark, STUCK, stuck.
Start. Okay. Yeah. 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 All right.
So okay, at that point of time, actually I tried to enroll data science courses using
Mm.
like R or Python on
Yeah.
a piecemeal basis, but
Mm. Okay.
courses for me does not really.
I think you're breaking up for now. Right. I think I lost you for a while. Azham. Yeah, lost you for a while. Yeah. So he mentioned about a few key points, right? Data where he started as an
But
accountant.
not, yeah, at
Mm.
least if we got stuck with the tool, we got a
Mm.
vendor to help,
Right.
but not with open source.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But then I realized, okay, we need to do this, because
Mm.
if let's say at that point of time the company decided to go for a specific tool, at least
Right.
I have Python or R as a backup if anything goes wrong.
Right. Okay. Talking
So
about that, right? Talking about that.
mhm.
Um. What is really data science? You know, just a layman understanding. What is it really?
Okay, so basically, in a layman, in a simple word that I would say without using a textbook,
Mm.
okay, remember back then when we were like in the secondary school,
Yeah.
science,
Yeah.
exploring.
Mm.
So remember in primary, alam dan manusia,
Right.
those kind of things. So
Yeah.
basically, this is about the science of data.
Right.
What do you potentially found or
Right.
discover with your data sets,
Right.
which, okay, this is, I suppose, it's not a revolution, it's more like evolution if you see the timelines of some technological aspects,
Mm.
but I think back then, if we can remember, Excel is just about few thousand lines,
Mm.
I think, years ago,
Mm.
and then about few 100,000 lines and now only up to 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, when I started this journey, I once
Mm-hmm.
said that if let's say I can do data science, data analytics, machine learning, so I'm not just using Excel, I'll
Mm.
just do it.
Okay. Wow, that's a big manual.
Which actually, in fact, Excel nowadays actually have
Mm.
some elements of forecasting, which is not was in the previous versions, right?
Wow. Okay. All right. All right.
Ah,
Okay.
I
That's cool.
one of the
Oh.
functions.
All right. All right. Okay. Let's say secondary students, right, who wanted to grow and become data scientists. What do they have to do? What do they need? Oh, I think it's a bit of stuck over here. Azham, can
Is that you
you?
want because the way you do it.
Hmm. Well, let's say for secondary student, Azham, they
Mm.
wanted to pursue data scientist. You know, they're inspired by what you said just now. What they should do or get
Mm.
prepared.
Okay, if you want to go to data science, I suppose
Mm.
okay. I usually fall back to these three main areas that you need to cover, which is
Mm.
one is maths and stats.
Mm.
So even for maths,
Right.
and then
Hello, Azham. I think we lost Azham again.
you find it difficult to do VLOOKUP.
Okay.
I think it will be difficult for you to do any other coding.
Okay. So you need what did you
And
say again? Math and science. We missed out just now.
maths and stats. Basically, the
Okay.
NMATs, the UIDX or whatnot. Because I suppose
Right.
we'll meet it again.
Right.
Only for data science, you might make it simplified because of the programming. So you
Right.
also need to cover in terms of programming,
Right.
formula.
Right.
I'm secondary. I suppose if you can learn some Python, good.
Right.
But do cover your Excel. And then of
Right.
course do a lot of reading to cover the subject matter part. You
Okay.
need
So
to
we
read.
out of the science, is it?
No, business reading,
Business
public knowledge
today.
reading. Yes,
Right. Right.
you need to open every day at the morning. In the morning, read some news for about maybe 15 to half an hour, 50 minutes to half
Mm-hmm.
an hour.
Right.
Gain some
Right.
knowledge because sometimes the knowledge, okay, the news sometimes you have to link the dots to tell you the real story behind the news. Okay,
Okay.
this
Can
one I
you?
discovered. Okay, let me elaborate on that. I
Yes,
suppose you want
please.
me to elaborate on that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically, when I was in corporate planning back then, I think somewhere in 2014 or 15, there was a
Mm-hmm.
news that I think okay, there was a news that there's a courier that announced that they will do some expansion.
Mm.
It's on the business that they get. They will
Mm.
start to be a so-called official provider for certain services.
All right.
That's in one article.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, for some reason, I bumped into an article saying that Huawei
Mm.
is expanding market to Malaysia. I think Huawei, if not mistaken. So,
Mm-hmm.
and reading in more details later on, I found out that actually that courier is the official delivery partner for that service provider for the
Ah.
Huawei. So basically, if I did not read, I don't think I can find the dots.
Okay. Okay. All right. It is more of one is the like you said the business reading, understanding,
Yes.
connecting the understanding of data science into what is it for to do what, right?
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, what is your opinion on the future technology? Let's say this students wanted to further their interest, right? Um, is it on machine learning, AI, or data science? What's the difference and what is the similarity with all this? from your
Okay.
experience?
Interestingly, one of my friends asked me earlier this week about this question, which one?
Mm.
Because he got AI course and also data science.
Ah.
So my answer is, to be honest, if you think you're capable of going kind of terjun tiruk, you just want to go all the way, go for
Mm.
AI. But
Okay.
you know yourself, you know your capability of how much you can cope with certain subjects.
Right.
Especially if you when you are secondary, when you learn at maths, you learn
Mm.
difficult subjects. How do you cope yourself? This
Mm.
is this is the question that you yourself can answer.
All
Either
right.
you go for data science or you straight away get jump to machine learning or even AI. But here's the
Mm.
thing, everything falls back to basic logic of coding,
Mm.
maths, science, and also business.
Right.
Even if you are doing it for research, not for profit oriented business, for cutting costs or so whatnot, still
Right.
someone is funding your project,
Right.
right? So technically you need also to make your project worthwhile,
Mm.
because sooner or later someone will ask, why you do this, why you do this project, why you choose this
Mm.
project, for what purpose.
Right.
and
Right.
and I suppose this is something that I also stumbled when interviewing people,
Mm.
candidates.
Right.
Okay, they tell about they do some projects analyzing this and that, but when
Yeah.
I ask why you do that,
Mm.
usually the answers are not satisfactory, because actually they
Okay.
just do without really understanding why.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's a good point. Okay. Talking about data science, AI just now, and I think not to much to say that if you also have significant contribution in the recent COVID
Mm-hmm.
19 and the pandemic, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, how does data science help COVID and the tools to to make some decisions on policies and MCO during that time? Your personal experience.
Okay, in my personal experience, looking at how the frontliners, especially led by MOH and
Mm.
also some agencies, I believe uh, the force is data driven. Is just, I suppose, the school of thought that make things a little more interesting, because like I said, when I started this journey, different people have different definition of how things to be done.
Mm.
But here's the thing that I noticed, that whatever method you have, whatever
Mm.
school of thought you have, if your objective is the same, to help the nation recover from COVID,
Mm.
the discussion will go in a very productive and conducive manner.
Mm. Right.
Which
But
is,
how, yeah, how does data science help in this situation?
okay, based on the data that MOH have, and also
Mm.
the from the other agencies, basically they can plan their resources well, because if you
Mm.
can remember during the start of this pandemic,
Right.
we are worried because of the resources. Can our hospitals cope if the volume, if the patients reach at a certain number?
Right.
So basically, I suppose the planning was, we want to avoid the that situation. So all this analysis is being done in a way, if what can be done not to reach to that level. So all
Right.
these precautionary measures, whatever the DG has announced on daily basis, like the closure of border, and then the advice of the social distancing, targeted areas, PKPDs, things like
Right.
that, the tracking of the clusters,
Right.
the monitoring, so and on. I suppose is done with data, because do remember that, consider that our resources is not that much compared to some countries,
Right.
but we achieve is more than what is being done by other countries too.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I suppose people outside are interested of how nations are doing it. And I can
Right.
see from the DG's Facebook postings that he nearly receive visits nearly every week. I think
Mm.
because people want to know what actually MOH do.
Right. Right.
See.
So in other words, what you said just now, with a lot of data, they're able to get meaning in the data. They're able to do better planning in
Yes.
terms of and also some projection way in advance. For example, if we have 1,000 bed, we shouldn't have more than 1,000 patients, right? And what we need to do everything we can so that it doesn't reach that level. Is that what I
Yes.
say? All
Yes,
right, all
because
right, okay.
to manage a 1,000 patients at a time is not as easy as the theory sounds.
Yes, yes, yes. You're right. You're right. Okay, okay.
And
All
of
right.
course, imagine
Hmm.
this: one patient does not necessarily recover in certain amount of days. Some take extra
Hmm.
days,
Yeah.
some take just a short time. So basically,
Hmm.
even if you have 1,000 beds,
Hmm.
how long does the 1,000 beds being occupied?
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
cycle
Yeah.
of it.
Right. Can you share with us a little bit about what are challenges you see during the COVID-19 from where you are sitting at?
I suppose it's more how to allocate the resources and what action plan that can be done to make things better. It's already better. It's already good.
Hmm.
How to
Hmm.
make it better?
Right. Right. So this is where having a good data and able to understand the data is
Yes.
very key, right? So in
Yes.
terms of now let's move. Let's think about talent. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you said just now about how you came about data science about when you go to MDEC and they talk about talent development, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now now you're one with talent and you are a talent what you call experienced talent. So I think it's incumbent on you to also develop the next talent. So in
Yes.
terms of talent development in Malaysia and talent
Mm-hmm.
opportunities, where do you see we are going and what are your recommendations into this area?
Okay, looking at the recent Penjana announcement, there's a lot of courses provided for the building up talent programs. So I
Mm-hmm.
suppose my recommendation is take those chances because back in 2016, I took those chances. My course was fully paid by HRDF
Mm,
funded. So
right,
basically, I'm one of those lucky ones that utilizes those funds. And to be
right,
honest, is but do remember this: that's people's money.
right.
So once you get it, please, please be successful in completing the courses and deliver back to the nation and whatever what you are working for. Because
Right.
even if let's say you are going back to the private, when you work for private, you enhance their revenue, their profitability
Mm,
in some kind. The profit will go back in terms of taxes to the government. So the
okay.
cycle of fund will go on for
Right.
to develop another talent.
So back in 2016, I want to dwell on that a little bit. I mean,
Mm,
is there
sure.
any? How many do we have at a time? I mean, is there you the only one, or do you have to do some assessment to get into the program that you mentioned just now?
Okay. Yes, we did to have go some assessment. So basically,
Mm,
what I experienced when I started with cats at that point of time,
mm,
okay, the team of three actually we four actually joined for the test. So we go for the
mm,
personality test
mm,
first, just to identify, just to gauge where are we at. So to be honest,
mm,
at that point of time, I have two plus one team member, which is one is
mm.
actually from IT, is the supporting given by ICT department.
Right.
So I have one from actually originally from IT absorbed to my team, and also one from sales.
Mm,
And me being from corporate planning, that having accounting background. So my
right.
thought when we gone through that test, I thought
Mm,
I was just qualified as data analyst,
mm,
and I thought those IT guys that actually got one of the spot for so-called data scientists, but the
mm.
result came out differently.
All right.
So the
Okay.
IT guys go maybe because of the background they qualified for data
Mm,
engineering,
right.
so-called talent spy.
Right.
Mine is data scientist and my sales guy got data analyst. Okay,
Right.
but that's just indication, which is I suppose it makes sense. I think that's the objective to the assessment. Because why?
Right.
You are about to go to a journey that maybe test your capabilities, your capacity. So
Yeah.
we attended, and the test they give I think three different questions
Mm-hmm.
using R to provide solution via R. One
Mm.
another question to provide via Python,
Mm.
and another one just any tools, which is we use Excel,
Right.
and it's a problem solving question. So
Right.
I think I got high marks because of the how because okay, there's no definite wrong or right answer because they ask for your assumption.
Right. Right.
So here is where if you do not do reading much,
Mm.
your assumptions maybe sounds funny.
I see. Okay.
You
All right.
make calculate. For example, I think for example, you make if you press even calculator, you get some numbers. But why you put
Right.
that calculation, only you know. But it does it make sense or not?
Right.
It depends on the audience also. So
Right. Right.
in this case, the test, okay, now okay, maybe my answer is a little bit different, but
Mm.
based on assumption, okay, this is quite a good answer. And if
Right.
you get
Right.
if someone take advanced back then, I suppose you also need to use to tell your assumptions when you do your at maths, right? Back then,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure about now, but you need to also insert your assumptions,
Yeah.
assuming
You
X
have to
is blah blah
justify.
blah blah.
You need to
Yeah.
justify. Yeah.
So basically, that's the second test. So
Right.
onboarding test. So after 1 week of going to the certification class for
Mm.
data scientist, I appreciate those tests because
Ah.
it really kind of prepared me mentally of what to
Yeah.
be expected.
I mean, were you not surprised that how come I mean you qualified that
Yeah,
without
actually, to be honest, I am surprised.
hmm right,
I am very
interesting.
surprised because okay, when I went and I joined the class, to be honest, from 10, I'm the only one from finance and accounting. Others are
Mm,
from either stats or
yeah,
computer science or IT.
yeah, programming and those stuff
Yeah,
lah, right,
very
right.
the technical sides.
Technical side.
But
Yeah,
I suppose I think the other guy is just
yeah,
not
yeah,
the non-technical.
right. Good. I think it's interesting. So now talking about future development, right? What's
Mhm.
next in the field in data science?
Okay, I suppose now everyone is gunning about AI, machine
Mm,
learning.
yeah.
It's
Mm,
good. It's good. It's
mm,
just now I suppose the challenge. Okay, I think AI back then is more about making sense of AI.
mm,
I think 10, 20 years ago is about whether the machine has been trained and produce a good results.
mm,
But now since the buy-in is already there, the technology is already there.
mm.
So the next question is, what do you want to use the technology for?
Yes.
And especially for the business, how can we make profit out of it
Right.
or
Right.
making life better?
Right. Okay. So what would be the direction for, let's say, new talents just graduate to get into this field of data science or data scientist?
One, okay, I suppose you can start uh, doing Kaggle problems, a similar
Mm.
like platform like Kaggle, so or not. Because
Mm.
okay, as much as some of the data from Kaggle is ideally or maybe like when you study in college or university is like already pre-prepared.
Okay.
Just try because some of the problems are actually real life problems.
Mm.
And of course, if you are working, practice the data science in your field, whatever it is. Because for
Mm.
example, I thought my journey of data analytics kind of ended when I when went out from the big data projects and joined
Mm.
operations of Post Malaysia.
Right.
Post Malaysia operations in terms of delivering the items, the courier.
Right.
I was more
Right.
in courier. But here's the thing. I use the data science knowledge that I gained to
Mm.
help operations to deliver items better,
Right. More efficient. Yeah. I
more
mean.
efficient. So
Right.
technically, your data science experience will be much more valuable when you put real life example in your work line into practice.
Mm. Right.
So
So
it's
does
no
this
more
mean?
theoretical.
Yeah. Does this means, like one question I have, for you is, let's say someone in the mid, career change, right? In the late
Mm-hmm.
30s, or mid 40s, and because of the COVID environment, post pandemic, they want to have a career shift. Is it too late to get into data science? They have a lot of business experience, anyway, right?
Okay,
What's your
it's
thought?
never too late.
Mm.
It's never too late.
Right.
Think like data science is another upgrade of your technical skills to enable you to deliver what you know better. Because okay, for me, okay, I know the how to say it, my friends like it is okay. Being data scientist, the challenge one of the I have to mention this because it's this when you go for data scientist and being known as data scientist, you are also assumed to know everything, which
Mm.
is sometimes it's not.
Especially the technical part, right? I mean, the
The
programming, the
technique,
solutions, right?
not just that,
No,
everything,
everything. Okay.
everything.
Right.
So, uh, you are assumed as a data god lah in a way. I
Right.
ask you,
Right.
you are like Siri or you are like what? Yeah, you can just answer everything. You are like Jarvis lah, per se.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
basically, you should know, or at
Mm.
least you
Mm.
know something. But
Mm.
here's the thing:
Mm.
it's not
Right.
everything, but
Right.
you need to be a jack of all trades,
Mm.
master of at least one. So
Mm.
even if you are in late, let's say you're in the 40s or 50s, a late career even, just for the
Right.
sake of enjoying the ride, enjoying the journey, learn data science because for me, there's nothing wrong. It enhances your capacity or capability to do your job better
Right.
because you know something already. You already specialize in something. You have a strength in something. That
Right.
strength can be enhanced further.
Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Oh, this is interesting. Um, I mean, it's running late already. I mean, it's already 4 or 5 p.m.
Yeah,
We passed the time that you committed. Sorry to take extra 5 minutes over there. So
no worries.
Azam, I mean, final words from you, for the aspiring data scientist, particularly someone who want to make this as a career. The graduate students ataupun someone in the secondary students,
Mhm.
they are interested in this.
Learn and
Hmm.
never stop to improvise because as much as maybe you have earned your PhD in data
Hmm.
science so or not,
Hmm. Hmm.
even certified data scientists
Hmm.
never stop to learn and improvise because here's the
Hmm.
thing. One for one, since one of the basic of data scientists is technology or the coding part,
Hmm.
since technology is evolving,
Hmm.
so I suppose one day there's another language that makes things easier for analysis.
Oh yeah, totally agree with that. Yes, even my kid now, they learn programming using Tinker. Those are blocks
Ah,
of information. I mean, they don't even
that's
learn the coding C. Or they
okay.
don't do
Okay,
that, right?
okay. That's where that's the good part. They are being technically savvy, but
Hmm. Hmm.
we need to balance that. That's why the subject matter expert
Hmm.
domain is important because why? Sometimes you can calculate, but why?
Hmm.
As to why? Because I suppose in your line of field, you have
Hmm.
came across presentations that have a rainbow color like my backdrop here
Hmm. Hmm.
in
Hmm.
your charts, which
Right.
is in terms of presentation wise, is not advisable, right?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
sometimes when you do analysis, the number do came out.
Mm.
Does it make sense or not?
Mm.
It's another story.
Right. Right. That's right. I think the why, I mean, will develop over time, once they have
Yes.
more experience. So my final question: why should people consider data science or data scientist as a career?
Is it opens up doors to few more possibilities
Right.
because you
Right.
already equipped with a technical knowledge to
Mm.
play with raw data,
Mm.
very raw,
Mm.
which is usually people get it in a very nice format of Excel or table or something, but
Mm.
you get a very raw, which is you can play around with it.
Mm.
So it's just a matter of how you want to make it out of it.
Right. And I think data scientist is applicable to a lot more domain work verticals now,
Yes.
industry, right?
It, take it as data science as enabler for you to achieve something greater.
Wow, that's inspiring. Take the time to achieve something greater. Wow, great. Okay, Azam, I think that's an inspiring line to conclude today's session. I hope to get in touch with you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much once again, and I wish you success in your career.
Thank you for having
And
me
oh,
for this session.
I mean, so great. Do inspire us more. I follow your Facebook and LinkedIn, and
Thank you.
also do more for the nation. Thanks so much once again.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so give big hand to Azham. Tepuk sikit, tepuk sikit. Yay! All right. Thank you so much. See you around. Take care. All right, that's Azham, guys, from MCMC, Director in Industrial Research. He was first in the CEO office, in the project with on COVID-19 the other day, and he shared about his experience as a data scientist. Interestingly, a few things I would like to recap over here. That Azam started as an accounting practice, finance, and then he get into data science. Isn't that interesting? Where he never thought that something that he would be pursuing, but as accounting, because he get a lot of data, he realized that he needs more understanding, and this thought about data science come into being. And since then, become his passion. Yeah, and the best part, when he went for the assessment, he find out that he's one of the few, or maybe the only one, I didn't pick up just now, that without the IT background. He was the guy from accounting and finance, and but later on, it find out that he he was the right candidate to develop data into to be developed into data scientist. So this is kind of talent development program. He accredited that to MDAC, CATS, and a few other people just now, as to help him develop his new talent, his new interest. And now he's with MCMC, and he was in Post Malaysia and involved directly with the COVID-19 situation to help them plan, make decision on policies, on beddings, on resources, allocate resources, and many like that. So I hope this talk has inspired you kids, especially students, future graduates, to learn data science, pick up something from there. And two things he mentioned just now about is data science is learnable. That's number one. And he also mentioned about to be good, focus on math and science, particularly math and statistics. You can learn a little bit of programming as well. You have to remember the formula, particularly programming. He mentioned just now. So I hope this talk has inspired you to pick up data science and data scientist as your career. And Azham Stark also mentioned that the data science field is cutting across with all industries, logistic, uh, in healthcare, in telco, in what else, manufacturing and stuff like that. So this will inspire a lot of people to get this into this field to make it as a career. And I think you earn quite good as well, right? So thank you so much. Thanks for staying in Ice Chat. So please follow us again. Do like our channel, Little Leadership, and I hope you will follow the next one. Next week is something interesting on coaching. Yeah, so wait for the announcement. I hope to see you again next week on Tuesday. This is Khairul from Ice Chat. Innovation, change, and entrepreneurship. Helping someone get back on their feet is good economics. Help someone out there. Stay inspired. See you around next time. Bye bye.